On a freezing Friday night in 1978, 5 young men left a basketball game in Chico, California, and headed home. They never made it. Their car was found abandoned on a remote mountain road, in perfect working condition. The men had walked away from it, deep into the snow-covered wilderness, wearing only light jackets. Months later, their bodies would be discovered in and around a Forest Service trailer. But here is the most terrifying part. The trailer was stocked with enough food and rations to keep them alive for a year. Yet, they starved to death. To this day, nobody knows why they fled, why they didn't eat, or what they were running from. This is the baffling mystery of the Yuba County Five. To understand the mystery, you have to understand the victims. Bill Sterling, Jack Hewitt, Ted Wire, Jack Madruga, and Gary Mathias. They were known in their community as the Boys. All 5 were in their 20s and 30s, and all had mild intellectual disabilities or mental health conditions. They were inseparable. They played on a local basketball team called the Gateway Gators. Gary Mathias, the only one without a diagnosed disability, was their unofficial caretaker. He drove them to games, helped them out, and kept the group together. At 10 p.m., they got into Jack Madruga's turquoise, 1969 Mercury Montego, and began the drive home. It was a drive they had made many times before. The drive home should have taken about an hour, but the boys never arrived. When they didn't return by morning, their families panicked and called the police. 2 days later, a forest ranger spotted Jack Madruga's car. It was parked on an unplowed, gravel logging road high up in the Plumas National Forest. This road was miles in the opposite direction of their route home. Investigators were baffled. The car was not stuck. It had a quarter tank of gas. The battery was working, and there were no signs of a struggle. Inside, investigators found their coats, their wallets, and the snacks they had bought. So why did 5 men, ill-equipped for the freezing temperatures, abandon a working car and walk deeper into the deadly wilderness? A massive search was launched, but heavy snowstorms hampered the efforts. It wasn't until the snow began to melt in June, over 3 months later, that the horrific truth was revealed. Motorcycle riders exploring the forest stumbled upon a remote Forest Service trailer. Inside, they found the remains of Ted Wire. The scene inside defied logic. Ted had starved to death, losing nearly half his body weight. Yet the trailer was filled with military rations, canned food, and a propane tank that could have provided heat. None of it had been touched. Ted had wrapped himself in sheets, but never lit the fire or opened the food. Searchers soon found the bodies of Bill Sterling and Jack Hewitt nearby. They had succumbed to hypothermia. Jack Madruga's remains were found miles away, near a creek. But Gary Mathias, their caretaker, the man who knew the outdoors, was never found. His shoes were discovered inside the trailer, but of Gary, there was no trace. The autopsies and police reports left behind more questions than answers. Over the decades, several theories have emerged. Theory 1: foul play. A man named Joseph Shans was driving near the area that night. His car got stuck in the snow, and he suffered a heart attack. He claimed he saw lights and heard voices, but when he called for help, the voices stopped. Did the boys get spooked by someone or something and flee into the woods? Theory 2: mass paranoia. Given the men's mental health conditions, some believe they suffered a shared psychotic episode. Perhaps they thought they were being chased, leading them to abandon the car. When they found the trailer, their paranoia may have prevented them from eating food they thought was poisoned. Theory 3: a tragic mistake. They simply got lost. They took a wrong turn, got stuck, and tried to hike to safety. They found the trailer, but without Gary, who had the most survival skills. They didn't know how to operate the stove or open the complex ration cans. Over 40 years later, the Yuba County Five remains one of America's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. 5 friends who went out for a night of basketball, only to become ghosts of the Plumas National Forest. What do you think drove these men into the snow? Why didn't they eat the food? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you found this case as fascinating as I did, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Until next time, stay safe.